Have you ever watched a documentary or advertisement and thought to yourself, I think I can do that, or I wish I could do that? With a little training and the right equipment, anyone with the will can learn how. This presentation will show you the basics to begin recording and editing videos. The first step of any successful video production is pre-planning. Before you go out into the field, you should make sure you have all the equipment you need. Bring a shot list that shows all the shots you'll need for a particular production. A shot list includes all interviews and B-roll shots. B-roll shots are the background footage that establishes a location or shows scenes that relate to an interview. You should also bring extra batteries and recording materials and work out what you might do if the equipment fails. Finally, you should try to have a timeline planned out for how long you'll be in a location or interviewing someone. Most people know how to use a camcorder, but did you know that cell phones are increasingly being used to film commercials, documentaries, and movies? Learning how to use your cell phone's built-in camera can save you time and money on supplies. You can buy lens adapters for your cell phone and tripod mounts to get you a stable image. There's plenty of information online on how you can do it too. However, you may not have the money to invest in a high-quality tripod with mounts, so here's a technique you can use with both cameras and cell phones to get a mostly stable image. First, spread your legs shoulder-length apart. Slightly bend your knees. Keep both hands firmly on the camera or cell phone, and pull your elbows in tightly. If you're panning or tilting, use your waist and legs while keeping your upper body steady. There are some rules and techniques that professional photographers and videographers follow to provide an aesthetically pleasing shot. They're called the rules of composition, and if you follow them, you can improve your photography and videography skills. The first is called the rule of thirds. Imagine the viewfinder is split into 3 parts both vertically and horizontally through lines, like a tic-tac-toe game. If you place the horizon on the upper or lower line and keep the main subject close to where the lines intersect, your shot is following this rule. The next rule is called headroom. There should be a reasonable amount of space between an object or interviewee and the cutoff point of the screen. Too much headroom is distracting. Too little isn't as big of a problem, but it can be disorienting. For promotional videos, keep the headroom to an even medium. Finally, try to avoid loud colors or patterns on your subject matter. When interviewing outside, don't face the camera towards the sun, or it will silhouette the interviewee. Keep the camera stable and avoid excess shaky cam. Using the stable stance can help. Also, for promotional videos, it's not bad to experiment with creative shots, but save those for last and keep it simple. Every video production has both a visual and audio aspect. Don't skimp on this element because bad audio can ruin a good video. There are 3 types of microphones you should be familiar with. The first is the handheld mic, which is normally used by reporters, presenters, and musicians. To use them effectively, keep them at least 6 inches from the mouth. Next is the lapel mic, which is more common for interviews. To use it, clip the mic on the collar of the interviewee. The last is the shotgun mic, which is normally used to get ambient audio or interviews. To use it effectively, point the end at the subject you're trying to record. If using it for an interview, get it as close to the interviewee as you can while keeping it out of the shot. When interviewing someone or getting an interview from them, make sure to use these tips. Speak clearly. Don't mumble. Try not to say or like, and take your time. It's easy to rush through an interview when you're nervous. Proper lighting of a subject or person might be the single most important factor in a production's quality. There are a few basic lighting setups that are tried and true to the video profession. But first you should know about the kinds of lights that are normally used. Spotlights are used to shine a targeted cone of light on a subject. They can bring out the highlights on someone's face or show dynamic shadows. The softbox light shines diffused light over an area to softly remove shadows. The reflector bounces light back onto a subject. Here are 3 common lighting setups. The 2-point and the 3-point setups are for studio and indoor shots. The outdoor setup is good for sunny days outdoors using nothing but reflectors and natural light. Dusk and dawn are called magic hour because of the dramatic silhouetted shots that are easy to get at these times. Try not to film interviews during this time. Instead, focus on B-roll. So now you have all of your recorded video and sound. Now comes the hardest part of the video production process, editing. It can be daunting to the beginner. but there are some basics to help get you started. What's important is that you find software that makes sense to you. Most video editing software consists of a bin that holds your video clips, a timeline where you'll place the video clips, and a preview screen that shows what's on your timeline. There's no need for fancy effects or transitions. Using cuts, dissolves, and wipes works fine. Rely on your well-shot video to get the job done. To begin editing your video, import all the video and audio you've recorded. You then place each piece together on the timeline, cutting off the parts you don't need. If you get lost, check the internet for tutorials on how to do the basics in your editing program. Here's a template for documentary or promotional videos. Start the video with B-roll that shows the location you're featuring. Have narration and/or background music that suit the situation. If you have interviews you want to use, cut to them and wait at least 3 seconds before you cut to relevant B-roll showing what the interviewee is talking about. Try to show at least 3 B-roll shots in succession before cutting back to the interview and have each shot run at least 3 seconds. Repeat narration and interviews until you're finished. Try to finish out the video with narration or relevant music before dissolving to black at the end. Do you want background music at any point? Does the sound need some adjustment? If you insert background music, make sure that it's at least 13 decibels below any speaking. If you want only the music to be heard, then it may fade up to its full volume, but make sure that it doesn't peak above everything else. Now that your production is edited, it's time to export it to the web. Most editors allow you to export your video in various formats. For YouTube, export the video as an MP4. If the video is in HD, then export it as 720p or 1080p. The little P next to the number size stands for progressive. There are currently 2 video types, progressive and interlaced. Without getting into too much detail, progressive works best with computer or web video. Once your video has been exported, you're ready to upload it and present it to your audience. Digital videos are one of the best ways to promote your community or agritourism business. We live in an interconnected visual culture now thanks to the internet. It can be overwhelming, but if you have the will to take advantage of it, you may be surprised at how much impact it can have. Good luck.